Well, the time has arrived, and this is, as you see, a 555 video. Hello, good morning. The title today is, Was the Announcement Real or Just a Dream? I woke up between 12:30 and 1 o'clock this morning thinking I had watched a video of someone from China announcing the new financial system. I did not recognize the individual, nor do I know if he represented the Chinese government or the Chinese dragon family. If it was the latter, why was it not the ambassador making the announcement? The message was filled with generalities, yet lacking in particulars. When he said that the nations of the world had reached an agreement on the restructuring and that all major nations were cooperating, that sounded good to me. However, very little details were provided in regard to the elements of the new system. Would debt slavery continue? Would the system of law that supported the debt slavery remain in effect? I've pondered these questions all morning, only getting about 1 hour sleep. As I said, I'm not sure whether I was awake or asleep, and I still don't know exactly what it means. I do believe it will be meaningless if they do not address the actual issues facing humanity in regard to our status as sovereign humans. The devil, or angel, is in the details. Is it 555 or a new version of 666? Where did the word act come from? I didn't even see that before. And I didn't put a question mark there that needed one. All right, fixed the two things in the blurb that I noticed as I read it out loud for the first time. Yeah, it's been for me an extremely strange night. I tried to go back to sleep a couple of times only to jump back up again and come to the computer and look for an announcement that I didn't see. And I haven't talked to the ambassador yet. He has a friend visiting, and I don't know how much time I'll get to talk with him today. But in any case, it left a lot of questions in my mind. I mean, he has spoken many times, as you know, that they don't just want to replace the current system, Coke, with Coca-Cola Light, a lighter version. And that's one thing that I've been very attentive to. Will it do the things that I suggested in the blurb? Will it eliminate the debt slavery? Well, that means a jubilee, and I know he has mentioned different times that the family wants to bring us a jubilee. But how much control or influence does the family actually have on the Chinese government? I suspect that the announcement, as I heard it being made, and I mean, I don't know all the words that were there, but it's as if I saw a real thing. And I mean, I looked for a YouTube and did not find any message to that effect. Now, maybe I didn't Google the right thing or look in the right place, but I didn't see any. Well, Benjamin Fulford made a thing the other day, but that's not the one that I saw. It was a Chinese guy that was making the announcement. And again, if it represents the family, I would think the ambassador would be the one that would make the announcement. But I don't know how those things work. But I kept getting back up and not being able to sleep. I finally went back to bed the second time after waking up. After waking up at 12:30 or so. I went back to bed at 3 o'clock, and I slept till just a little bit past 4. So I did get about an hour's sleep, but then I'm right back up again, and still pondering this same thing, like it doesn't leave me. And I'm really, really concerned that any agreement made with the United States, for example, would not be real unless we were able to dissolve the corporation and make the deal with the de jure government, which would be the Republic for the United States of America in whatever form it exists. That would be the wonderful thing. And of course, Benjamin Fulford has mentioned that in some of his messages, that the republic is going to be restored. Well, that's what I want to hear, but I've been hearing it since 2010, 2011, that there's going to be a restored republic in the United States. In fact, I might have heard it even before that. I was involved personally from January 2011 when I started doing these videos. I want humanity liberated. I mean, Aristo says he doesn't believe that there's any such thing as a kingdom of heaven. Well, whatever name you call it, to me, the kingdom of heaven is when there's justice on earth, when there's peace on earth, and there cannot be peace without justice. There cannot be a bridge built, a transitional phase in the human evolutionary process without addressing the issues of our sovereignty and or slavery, because one prevents the other. If we were sovereign, we wouldn't be slaves. As long as we are slaves, we cannot exercise sovereignty. We are under the thumb of the matrix, of the dictatorship, of the tyranny, and it's not just financial, it's a lawful tyranny, or a legal tyranny. It's a tyranny of military force and police force. It's a tyranny of corrupted courts and corrupted government institutions, as well as corrupted privately owned, actually they're all privately owned, even the government ones, but privately owned multinational corporations like all of the oil companies and the pharmaceutical companies, etc. It's all under the same matrix umbrella of mind control and of control, period, controlling resources, including what they consider human resources. But we are not resources. We are creators. We are people that build things. We are people that contribute to the whole. We are part of the matrix of life, not the matrix of death. The current matrix is a matrix of death. That's why the military-industrial complex plays such a key role. These are things that must be addressed in a new financial system, and in a new system where if ignorance is ever going to be addressed, it's going to have to be addressed with education, and you're going to have to tell the truth about the way the current system has worked. It has not worked based on law. It has worked based on force. Everything has been manipulated, and it's been a domination system from the get-go. And these are issues that we have to face honestly, objectively, and we have to be willing to take our part. Moving into sovereignty, both on the collective and individual level, requires taking responsibility. It requires action, not just sitting back and waiting for somebody else to do it, but finding out what our part is and playing that role, taking those steps. I mean, granted, nothing stresses me out more than having to play in the legal arena. Nothing. Because it's been so frustrating for so long for me. Yet I have to keep doing it, because I know that that the world is not going to change until enough individuals do what they can do to address it. And ultimately, it is my belief and hope that we will reach a critical mass, and it will become easier for the people on the fence to make the decisions to support positive change, to support the growth of a temporary bridge government that encourages people to take ownership of their land and of their things, and responsibly hold them in trust for all of humanity. Not that they're giving away the use of them. Everybody has the right to use whatever land, homes, equipment, etc. they need to fulfill their task of living as a human being. And everyone, in my opinion, deserves a basic living wage as long as money is part of any system at all. I don't see that being eliminated immediately. I'd like to see it, and I do see it in the future, but I don't know that we're going to get from where we've been to there without a bridge being built in between. And I've said this many, many, many times. My desire, no matter what you call it, is to see a world that works for everybody. I call that the kingdom of heaven. When Aristo and I do our next video, and I'm not sure, he didn't let me know this yet when he wants to do it this week, whether it was today or tomorrow. Normally it's either Thursday or Friday. So I'm doing this video, and this is going to go up even if he contacts me later in the day and wants to. But I don't know why he doesn't see the kingdom of heaven. He sees heaven, if I understood his recent comment, he understands heaven to be just as messed up as earth. Again, as above, so below. And there could be truth in that. I don't know. But this I do know. I want a world that is no longer a domination slavery system. I want to live in that world. I want to see that world. I want to experience that world. And I'd like to do it in this lifetime. Now, it's going to be a short video. I will close by a little bit of a health update. Those of you that watched my previous video know how elated I was that the swelling looked like it had gone down in my feet, and it stayed that way for a good part of the morning. But as the day wore on, the swelling kept increasing till by nightfall it was as bad as it's ever been. And I didn't understand that. I don't understand that. I've done my very best to take the necessary steps. I lost another pound, by the way, down to 209. And I was there all day yesterday, and even this morning it's 209.4, although it was at one point 209.0. In any case, my heart behaved a lot more yesterday until it became time to go to bed, and then it went into atrial fibrillation for a time, although I was able to calm it back down. I think it went back out, so it was only in atrial fibrillation for a short time. I still am looking for complete restoration of my body and even rejuvenation. I did have more energy yesterday, and I seem to have energy today, although I'm haven't really done much except sit at the computer and walk to the refrigerator to drink a couple drinks of water, etc. Anyway, that's where I am today, and I think it's important that an announcement is coming, and I also think it's important that details are provided that will put our minds at rest a little bit, and we know that when the nations of the world are cooperating, it means that the cabal has finally released their grip, and that's what we need to see, and that's what I hope and pray for. And thank you for listening. That's it. Namaste.